Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Bearded Lumber. Appreciate you tuning in today. You can see what's on the ground behind me. We got some big wood. If you've watched our channel at all, or if you're new, you'll quickly learn that Matthew and I like sawing big wood. I mean, if you had to give me a choice to saw 12-inch logs all day or 40-inch logs all day, I'll take the big ones. I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy a lot of times the better quality of wood you can get out of some of the bigger stuff, because you get out of the knots and it's just beautiful slabs of wood. So let's talk about what we got behind me, and we'll do that in just a minute. So hang on, we'll be right back. Okay, guys, welcome back. Let's talk about these logs here. Now, these are nice pieces. Don't get me wrong. There's 8 of them, 30 inches. You know, that's a big piece of wood, especially here in the southeast. Now, you go out west, there's a lot bigger stuff, but here in the southeast, that's a monster. That's a monstrous old forest pine. Now, I bought these. Now, I don't normally like to buy 8-foot logs, particularly for the fact that if I buy an 8-foot log, that's all it'll ever be, is an 8-foot log. It don't give me any options. I prefer 12s and 16s, basically 12, 6, and 17. 12s, if I get in a pinch, I can make a 10, and 8 out of it. Yeah, you have to throw away a little wood, but you got options. You got 3 logs, 12, 8, 12, 10, and 8. Same thing with 17s. You know, if I'm down to the last 12-footer and I got a 16-foot log, I can saw it off and I got a 12. I can bust it in half and I got 2 8s. You know, it gives you options. So I really don't like to buy all 8-footers, but this guy called me up and they'd got stuck with these, couldn't get them, nobody wanted to buy them, and he said, man, I promise they're gorgeous. They're 20 plus, you know, 24-inch plus logs. I said, well, we negotiated the price, and I said, bring them on. And guy dropped them off. I said, well, them is gorgeous. And the main reason I told him to go ahead and bring them on, I had a customer job I needed a bunch of 8-foot stuff for. Now, I've got a lot more here than I need, but it's beautiful stuff. We'll make something out of it. At the worst, we'll saw it up in the inventory, run it through our molder planer, and have something beautiful to sell. But there was 8 logs, and the order I got is for half and half, 8-footers and some 9-footers. Luckily, one log back there is 9'6", so I can get rid of it. The rest of them are 8'4", 8'6". After he dropped it off, I called the guy that dropped it off was just trucking it. He wasn't the guy sawing and selling. So I called him back, told him that they did look good, you know. He said, well, I got a second load, just looks just as good. I said, well, crap. Go ahead and send it too. You know, you don't get pine around here this big hardly ever. I'm sitting on, there's 70 acres right here that's family land altogether, and there's a few trees that size in the 24-inch range. Old, real old. Ain't none this big, you know. Now, granted, the tree I'm talking about is a yellow pine. Now, this is forest pine. It's a lot quicker growing, but there's a couple yellow pines over there that are just absolute monsters. We call them house builders, people. That's the type of tree you can cut out and you can build a house out of. You can cut your 2x4 walls, 2x10 floor joists. You cut your 2x12 ceiling joists. You know, you can build a house out of a tree like that. It's so big, so tall, so straight, you cut whatever you want, you know, beams, mantles, floors, walls, ceilings, house builders. And that's what this would be if it had been 16 foot long. And they're 8 foot long because he couldn't lift them. His piece of equipment he had on the job, I think he had a track hoe, a smaller hoe, and this was all he could manage with the thumb and the strength of the machine. Now these are probably 1,000-pound logs for 8 footers. You know, maybe more than that. The guy figured he had about 10 ton on his truck. That's 20,000 pounds divided over 8 logs. Was that quick math? Around 1,200 pounds? Probably wrong, but no. Or it's too early to do math, people. Let's see here. That's why we got apps on our phone, right? 2,500 pounds a piece, yeah. That's why we don't do math in a hurry. We do it with a calculator or a pen and paper. 2,500 pounds a piece for an 8 foot log is a chunk of weight. So, if you're going to attempt sawing like this, something like this, be careful. And that was kind of the point of today's video. How to saw a big pine log like this. And there's lots of different ways. You can flitch yourself to death with it. You can edge the edger to death with it. I mean, you can saw just boards, you know, as wide as the mill will cut, 22-inch wide. I could make boards out of it. But that's not the most efficient way to saw a big log like that. And that's what I wanted to cover in this video. Is I'm sawing, it's weekend, I'm sawing by myself. Matthew had things to do today, but I could flitch myself to death on this by just sawing board after board after board. So we're gonna go into a different technique of making some cants to get off the mill, to get the log smaller, get it down to a dimension that you or two people could work through without having a stack of flitches over here that's 6 foot tall when you get done. That you got to reprocess, you got to handle again. So let's quit talking and get the equipment lined up, warmed up, get a log loaded, and we'll get back to work. So I'll see you back at the mill in just a minute. Okay guys, got the log loaded. Let me try to go over this. Sunlight's fighting this bad thing this morning, but my goal for this log is 8-inch boards. Now I'll probably get some 6s just as a matter of doing what we're doing. But I pulled the mill up here. This is gonna be our first flitch. It's a little thick because the log's got a little belly in it there, but that'll be a good flat flitch all the way across. I'll probably come back in and take one more. I'm gonna roll it 90 degrees. I'm gonna take somewhere around here, take a flitch, probably take 1, 2, maybe 3 till I intersect my second line here, and I'll have a square 90-degree corner. It's not imperative that you have one, but if this corner don't meet, you'll have a board on the bottom of that first cant that won't make an 8-inch. It'd probably make a 6. So once we have a 90-degree corner here, what I'm gonna have left is about 21 inches. Well, if we divide that by 8, that's only 2. So that gives us 16 inches plus 5 inches of waste. Now there'll probably be 2 inches of that is just a flitch that's gone. So we should get 3 boards off of this, and then we'll have a cant that's 16 tall by 22, 23 inches wide. And then I'll cut it completely in half, and we'll have an 8 by 21, 22 cant. I'll slide it off the mill, process it later, and we'll take the other cant that will be a 8 by 20-ish cant, and we'll stand it up and we'll process it into 1-inch boards. Like I said, I'm working by myself, so I can saw 1 or 2 off bare, 1 or 2 off bare. Have plenty of time to sticker and stack as we go. Just rough estimating, let's see, that'd be 36. We should achieve 40 plus boards, 1x8s out of this log. It's 9.5 foot long. So that's my estimation. Let's saw it up and we'll see how many we get. Now, this is a quick, easy way to take a big log down into a smaller log, because I don't like making 22-inch wide cuts with your wood miser, because you're loading the motor and it's a slow cut. I mean, it just takes time. So we're gonna make one right here across the middle. Make one long, slow speed cut to get this cut in half. And then when we stand it up, it's 8 inches, and I'll be coming and going just as quick as I can. So I got a brand new wood miser Turbo 7 55 thousandths blade on the mill, and unless we hit some foreign material, it will saw like butter through this forest pine. This one, I don't see visible knots, but I know there's knots in there. Right there's one from when it was young, all the way down in the heart, a little bit knot. And it'll be just as hard here as it would if it was, you know, out here on the edge of the wood where you can see it. So that's why I run these blades. I have great confidence in their ability, when sharp to, you know, starting to go dull, to still cut through a knot flat. They're like any other blade though. When they get dull, they'll start wandering. I cut a couple boards yesterday, irritated me. Last log, it hopped a little bit, and it was my fault. I should have changed the blade, but I was down to the last log trying to get done. It was 9 o'clock at night. Still makes me irritated. I don't like to see that in lumber. We as sawyers, you know, we try to do the best we can, and anyway, live and learn. So let me get set up, and I'm gonna try to set you somewhere where you can see the process of this going from a big log to a smaller log. And there'll be some flitches. There ain't no way around it. Now I could, you know, take a hot 8-inch piece and leave this corner over here. Well, all that is just going to end up being waste, because I can't get an 8-inch board out of it. But if I'll start here and come in until I square this corner, all those flitches, you know, they'll be, first one probably 8 plus, 10 plus, 14 plus. Yeah, they'll need edge, but they will make 8-inch boards. Now, if we was looking for 8s, 6s, and 4s, you know, we could probably play this a little different, but it's all, I need all 8s for the customer. Anything that's not an 8 is either gonna be waste, or I have to take care of it, put it, you know, in my pile somewhere. So, enough talking. Let's make it happen. Like I say, I gotta find a spot. Y'all can sit and watch this whole process. So, let's get to it, guys. guys, let's pan running, it's hot. You see me square that up. I went pretty aggressive on squaring it up because I didn't want to waste any 8-inch boards, because I got it turned now. It's laying 16 tall, 17 wide. I'm gonna cut it right in half. Now once I cut it in half, if I'd left those couple boards on top, now instead of being 12, 14 wide, they're half. And I guarantee you I won't get a 1x8 out of half of that. But out of all the flitches over there, I think there's about 14 good 1x8s, and there's probably half a dozen be 1x6s come out of it. So we won't waste any of that. But we should get 32 to 34 out of this. If you notice me scraping the sawdust, there's a lot of sawdust in this cut. And the reason for that is it's a wide cut. They were, 18, 20-inch wide cuts, some of them. And I've had to go slow because you're pulling so much sawdust, so much blade through the wood. And as you slow down, you increase your sawdust. Now I'm gonna cut this in half, slide half of it off, and I'll go down through that 8-inch cant, and you'll see very little sawdust because it will be sawing faster, be traveling faster, and the sawdust will be evacuated quickly. So let me get everything turned back on. We're gonna cut it in half, and no, I won't move it by hand. I'll slide the little hydraulic catch over here underneath it, pick it up and rock it till I get it to a point that it'll slide off, or either I come over here and just have to push it off a little bit. We'll catch it on the lift arms, process this one, raise it back up, and then process the second half, and then I'll go through my flitches, and we'll see how many boards we got out of that big log. So let's get back to work. Okay guys, I hope that was helpful, breaking down that big log. Anytime you can split it down into smaller cants to get the same size material you want, speeds up the process, because I can saw an 8" wide cant at least twice as fast with better quality. You know, that's when you saw it that wide, you're gonna get a little speed chatter. Look at that. You're gonna get a little speed chatter no matter what you do, because you're having to slow down to allow the horsepower of the mill to pull all that sawdust out, and it creates speed chatter. So when I got it down to an 8" cut, those boards are perfect. They're just laser straight. You know, I give it a 9.5 out of 10 on cut quality. You can't ask for a mill to do no better. Now we got 32 of them out of those 2 cants, and we got this pile of flitches here. I'm gonna run all these. Some of them will double up, some of them will get an 8 and maybe a 6, and we'll get them stacked up here, and I'll figure the board footage on it and see what that little log yielded. So hang on, let me get to it. Okay guys, that does it. That's one 8-foot log from start to finish. You know, about 27 inches diameter. It takes a while to process a log like that. You know, it's been about an hour and a half by myself. You know, not getting in no hurry. But you can see we yielded 44 top quality 1x8s, and I ended up with 4 real good 1x6s. I could have made some 1x4s if I'd wanted to, but didn't have no need for them right now, and I just went out with the wash. So, what did we yield out of that one log? The 1x6s and the 1x8s was 250 board feet. That's a good log, people. Let's see here. 250. Yeah. That load of logs yesterday be right around 2,000 board feet. that's a good deal. Sometimes you got to take it when they come around, you know. So, what did we learn? There's lots of different ways to saw. You know, I could have sawed that thing down both ends, just kind of whittling it down, making mountains and mountains of flitches. That's not the very cost-effective use of your time. If I'd been needing 6s and 4s and 6s, I wouldn't have whittled it down near as far. I would have took those flitches off the sides once I cut it in half and made 4s and 6s out of them. But I was shooting for all 8s, so it was quicker for me to just box it down to a square cant or a rectangle, 16 by 17, 16 by 20, whatever you can get out of it. Get it down square, and then when you stand up and make cuts, every one of them boards is good. There's none of those need edge, none of them need made smaller. They're just stack them up and away they go. So, like I say, I hope that helps. That's kind of our goal here at Bearded Lumber. You know, we don't laugh, joke around, and you know, play games. We're here to saw. I'm here to try to teach you what I've learned over the years doing things. And I didn't invent this wheel. I've watched a lot of it on YouTube over the years. Talked to other sawyers, watched other people saw. You know, easiest way to learn something is stay around somebody that knows how to do it better than you and just watch and ask questions if you can. There's nothing wrong with that. We should always be learning. I've been doing this for a lot of years, and I still learn different tips and tricks from other individuals, other sawyers that I deal with locally. Nothing wrong with learning. The day you think you know it all, you know, you might as well quit then. I mean, nobody wants to be around you. But like I say, I hope it's helpful. If you got any questions, comments on sawing this big wood, drop in the comment section below. It goes without saying, guys, please be careful. Whether you're sawing a 8-inch log or a 40-inch log, it can all be dangerous. I got 4 grandkids, soon to have 5. I don't let them around the mill when we're sawing. I've sawed long enough. I've seen things happen that you didn't think would happen. You know, blades break. Most of the time they break and they stop. But I have broke them and seen them shoot out the floor. I've had logs I thought I had a good grip on roll off the end of the mill. I have dropped them off this side of the mill, not paying attention, and anybody's around that shouldn't be or that's not, you know, focused on sawing, they can get hurt quickly. Now, even Matthew and I can get hurt working around here. It happens, but we're trying to stay focused on sawing. If he's moving the tractor, I'm aware of where he's at. Now, he might be out in the yard, and I can hear him, but I'm not worried about what he's doing. But when he comes around that corner with a log, I'm giving him my attention and make sure he knows that I'm giving him my attention so that he can do what he needs to do safely without him worrying about me doing something stupid like walking in front of him. So just be careful. Nobody wants to get hurt doing this, because most of these businesses, guys, are like mine. They're family run. They're small operations. Big time sawmills don't normally watch YouTube channels like this. So most of you guys watching, you're running a family business. You know, son-in-law, sons, daughters, wives, you know, grandchildren. So always bear that in mind. It's a business, but it's family business, and the last thing we ever want to do is hurt somebody. So let's wrap it up and get out of here, guys. As always, thanks for Industrial Cutting Tools standing behind us. They're a great outfit. We buy all our blades from them. They're there a phone call away for all the help we need. Also, shout out to Solomon, Third Beard Fishing. Him and Matthew do our videos, as you well know. And check out Solomon's other YouTube channel, Eastern Florida Pythons. Eastern Florida Pythons. I don't even like to say the word snake, but anyway. And their graphic design business, 525 Designs. You get a chance, check out Chuck and Sandra at Shearton Park Farms. Good people. They're not too far away from us up here in North Carolina. They cover the whole scene of rural farming in North Carolina, how it relates to state policies, federal policies, the law, and stuff we need to be involved with, people. We don't need our local farming to ever go away. Last thing we want to do is have all corporate farming. So check out Chuck and Sandra. He's plugged into what's happening in the agricultural world. Guys, that's going to do it. As always, we appreciate you watching. We couldn't do it without you. Please like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.